I guess the most frustrating part for me was whether it's the media or past players who would always, particularly in the last 2 years, be attacking me about retiring. It felt like attacking. It was disappointing. I mean, I could have retired any time in the last 2 years. I was happy to. There was no issue. I was still playing well. I was still motivated. I think if I retired from international cricket, I still would have been playing cricket. Would have been playing Big Bash. It wasn't a motivation thing. But obviously, Andrew McDonald and George Bailey saw my value at opening, batting up the top. It's the hardest position in the team. And I kept putting myself out there for the team. I was like, sure. And even last year, where we got to Melbourne, I reckon, yeah, Melbourne. And I sat down with Andrew McDonald. We always have our little catch-ups. And I said to him, you know what, if at any stage right now, if you want me to retire, I will retire straight away. I have no issue. I'm not hanging on for myself. And that was the most annoying thing, because I felt people were coming at me, and I felt, they were saying I was selfish for staying on, but I wasn't staying on for myself. I mean, Andrew McDonald not begged, but practically said, no, I want you to stay. We need you for Sri Lanka and the World Test Championship. I want you to stay on. And so I did. And so it was never totally about me. And I'm glad I did. I was the highest run scorer in Sri Lanka, and I rewarded him in lots of ways, but that was probably the most frustrating thing. So I've been thinking about it, not wholly, but for a while in a lot of respects. And so I guess moving into this series, I kind of had an inkling in my head that this would be the last series. I talked to Rachel about it a fair bit, and I knew this was a big chance. I didn't leave the door fully shut, because I knew there was a chance that I could play on. I know Andrew Mendoza, even to the very end when I told him a few days ago, I mean, he was still thinking about how I could get to India. So I'm glad I get to leave on my own terms with a little bit of dignity and go out to the SCG where I love. But I think the start of the series was a pretty tough time, and then going into Adelaide and then not being picked initially for that game was probably a sign for me to say, all right, it's time to move on.